Jai Hind, dear friends. How are you all? I hope you all are fine, right? So today we are going to discuss question answers of the chapter of life process, right? So the first question we are going to discuss is, why is diffusion insufficient to meet the oxygen requirements of multicellular organisms like humans, right? So why diffusion is insufficient to meet the oxygen requirement in case of human beings like us, right? So what they are telling, in multicellular organisms all the cells may not be in the direct contact with the surroundings, right? So they are telling that in case of multicellular, our cells are not in direct contact with the environment, right? So that's why hence diffusion will not meet all the requirements of the cell. Clear? Chaliye. Now the second question is, what criteria do we use to decide whether समथिंग इज अलाइव, राइट? क्या क्राइटेरिया डिसाइड करेगा कि वो कोई समथिंग जो भी है, वो कुछ भी है, वो अलाइव किस तरीके से, वो जिंदा कैसे है, राइट? सो मूवमेंट इन रिस्पॉन्स टू एक्सटर्नल स्टिमुलाई, राइट? उसको बाहर से कुछ स्टिमुलस मिला, ब्रीथिंग, ग्रोथ, एक्सेट्रा, राइट? सो दीज आर द सम ऑफ द क्राइटेरियाज, राइट? सो दैट वी कैन डिसाइड वेदर समथिंग इज अलाइव. क्लियर? Now the third question, what are the outside raw materials used for by an organisms? So what are the outside raw materials that are used by an organism? Outside raw materials are used for maintenance and sustenance of life by an organisms, right? For the sustenance of life, so they require raw materials, right? That is essential for them. Clear? Now the next question is, what processes would you consider essential for maintaining life? So what are the process? All life processes that perform the maintenance of living organisms are called the life processes. Like we are doing breathing, right? Like we are doing so many activities, right? That is essential. So many systems are present in our body, so they are doing different functions, so that all these life processes perform the maintenance of living organisms. Clear? Now the next question is, what are the differences between autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition? So autotrophic nutrition are those kind of nutrition in which an organism prepare their food themselves, right? And heterotrophic nutrition is that nutrition in which an organism depend on others. Autotrophic nutrition we have discussed in case of green plants, right? And heterotrophic we have discussed in case of animals, right? It may be of three different types. What are those three types? Saprophytic nutrition, right? Parasitic nutrition and holozoic nutrition. Clear? Now you can do it easily. Where do plants get each of the raw materials required for photosynthesis, right? So they get water from the roots. Yes, water will get from the roots. Carbon dioxide will exchange through the stomata, right? Stomata for exchange of the gases, and they will get sunlight from the sun, and chlorophyll is already present in them. Clear? Now the next question is, what is the role of HCl in our stomach, right? So the HCl present in our stomach makes the medium acidic, right? HCl is hydrochloric acid, so it will makes the medium acidic so as to facilitate the action of the enzyme pepsin. So the pepsin is present there, right? Pepsin for breakdown, for it is responsible for breakdown of the protein, and it kills the bacteria ingested with the food, right? Clear? Now the next question is, what is the function of digestive enzymes? Right, enzymes, I have told you several times, enzymes are those substances which helps in break down complex substances into the simpler ones. Here they are talking about digestive enzymes. So digestive enzymes act on the complex food to break them into simpler components. Clear? Now the next question is, how is the small intestine designed to absorb the digested food? So how the small intestine is designed, right? So small intestine is that place where the complete digestion of carbohydrate, fat and protein will takes place, right? So small intestine has finger like projections, right, that finger in the inner lining, which increases the surface area for absorption of food. So they are having a finger like projections, and that will help in the absorption of the food. These finger like projections are called villi, right? These finger like projections are called the villi. So it will help in the absorption of the food, right? The villi are richly supplied with blood vessels. So they are richly supplied with the blood vessels which take the absorbed food, right? They will take the absorbed food to each and every cell of the body, right? So that each and every cell of the body will get the food, and so that they will carry out the metabolic processes. Clear? Now the next question is, what advantages over an aquatic organisms, aquatic those who are living in the water, right, those in the water, does a terrestrial organism have with regard to obtaining oxygen for respiration, right? So क्या एडवांटेज होगा किसका, टेरेस्ट्रियल ऑर्गेनिज्म का, किसके मुकाबले, एक्वेटिक ऑर्गेनिजम्स के मुकाबले, क्या करने के लिए, रेस्पिरेशन करने के लिए। देखते हैं क्या, aquatic organisms take in the oxygen dissolved in water, right? So the oxygen is which is in less percentage than the oxygen present in the water, because the oxygen is present in the combined form along with the hydrogen, H2O, right, water. So the terrestrial organism take in more amount of oxygen at a time than aquatic organism, because the terrestrial organisms they can take in more amount of oxygen, because here it is not present in the dissolved form, right? But in case of aquatic organism, the oxygen is present in the dissolved form. So the aquatic organisms are breathing, they are also breathing much faster than the terrestrial organisms. I hope the questions are clear to each and every student.